What up? So, this morning I wake up checking my Tumblr inbox and I got a link that someone sent me and they were just like, somebody stole your picture and was using it for a blog post. And so, I'm like, all right, let me go check this shit out, right? And, when I get there, I'm like, the first thing I see is a picture that I took like a minute ago. And this person took my face out the picture by putting a smiley face on it with some sunglasses. And I'm just like, okay, all right. And this is a makeup artist, beauty blog, lifestyle blog, whatever the fuck. And the headline says the issue that lies within the plus size community from one plus girl to another. So already I'm sitting here like, okay, so another fat bitch just took my picture and wants to use me as somebody in the community that's fucking up, not doing what they're supposed to do, or what the fuck ever. And I'm sitting here like, bitch, why couldn't you use your picture? You feel me? Because throughout the whole fucking article, this person keeps saying, I'm implicated in this as well. I'm implicated in this as well. And then also put, a anecdotal story about how, they were trying to play with their kids and they felt like they were out of shape. And the shit that irks me is I can't stand when somebody from one marginalized group tries to fucking come for everybody in the marginalized group on some, oh, well, you must be feeling this way because we're in the same fucking community. And like, the first issue I took with this is, how the fuck do you measure good health? First, that's the first question I pose. How do you measure good health? If you're a plus size person in the plus size community and you're sitting here talking about, we got to be healthy and shit like that, what is your measurement of health? That's my first question. And if your measurement of health does not involve people with bodies that are not thin or small, then automatically your whole argument is fucking bullshit. Because there are people who, are endomorphic, which basically means that that their muscles accumulated underneath fat, that they steadily gain fat and muscle. And that while that person may not appear to be healthy, because obviously our ideas of health, especially when it comes to physically looking at someone, is steeped in thinness, fat phobia, all that shit. So like when our measurement of health is biased, when our measurement of health as we know it is obviously like, just used to encompass a few people, we automatically have a disagreement and a problem with the way that health is already portrayed. So then for someone to be fat, to be trying to come for other fat people as if they're not healthy or they can't be healthy, or that because you're out of breath when you're running around with your children, every other fat person in the community must also be out of breath when they're engaging with physical activity that may or may not be strenuous. You're really just like being transparent as fuck about the fact that you don't really fucks with your lifestyle and that you're feeling some type of way about your health. So I feel like my main issue came from the fact that another blogger took a picture of me from my blog, a picture where I was celebrating my fat body nonetheless. You know what I mean? I was sitting there, when I took these pictures, I remember I was going through some shit. We was homeless. Our lights was cut off. We was hungry. We were evicted as fuck and we were squatting. Like we were just living a fucked up life, me and my roommate. And I remember like me and Jody, like we was on the rooftop and I was like, let's just take some pictures. And I remember after the pictures, we had a blessing where one of our friends had known that we were going through some shit and they felt implicated because they knew some of the people that had fucked us over and were vouching for them. And they had sent us money to like get our fucking electricity turned back on and, to have some money for food and have some money to fuck around with. And I think that like that whole day, Shadow, you stay. But I think that whole day, it was like the emotions were really heavy. So when I was able to take those pictures with Jody on the roof, when I was able to, have my stomach out, be fat and be visibly fat, be visibly extra fat, fatter than like I would be if I was taking a different type of photo set, I kind of felt in a way very free. I felt very excited about the fact that I could, show my body off and not be, having that double thought where I'm like, ooh, like who's gonna be mean to me? Who's gonna, be fucked up to me? Because that's still something that happens. I'm still living in this body where I am very oppressed, where people automatically assume things about me. And it's not even just because I'm fat. I'm also fat and black. I'm also fat and trans. I'm also fat and, lower class, you know? So I'm a poor, fat, black, trans bitch. So a lot of the things that, hold me down, are perpetuated by the society, and it makes it really hard for me to exist in my body. So for someone to take a picture from a photo set where I was feeling like just so good about myself really kind of fucked with me, because I'm like, damn, like the context of these photos, are just so like, it's just so important to me. It was just so like, monumental in my growth, because I had gone through a phase where all the work I had done with the body positive community, with the fat acceptance community, with the plus size community, I kind of felt like came full circle. I feel like I kind of fell out of shit, and then I fell right back into it, because I realized my worth. I realized my worth was not contingent on what the fuck another person was thinking about me. And I'm still a human, I'm still able to have like these emotions, to be double dutching in my feelings about shit. And it just really irked me that another fat person was going to take my picture and use it to kind of spin this very like fat phobic message that was like somehow legitimized because they're also fat. And it's the same thing when I talk about white supremacy and we get another black person in the comments coming for black folks who are just fucking disgruntled with the way that the system works to hold them down and degrade them and kill them and fucking make them feel disenfranchised as people. So I feel like there is a level of responsibility with these fat bloggers, with these plus size bloggers, with these people that are of size talking about other people of size. There's no way in hell that you could know anybody's health from looking at them, but yet we still have fat folks who are willing to suspend the believability of health, the idea of health, and just really come for other people. And I just really didn't fuck with that shit. And like, I guess this is my formal way of being like, please take down my fucking picture. Please stop using me as some sort of image of poor health that you need to be rallying other fat people around. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is, just alienating yourself from a community that you claim you want to be a part of. Being a plus size blogger, I feel like, what's up? Okay, cool. See you. Being a plus size blogger for me has meant a lot of shifts. In the beginning, I feel like my blog was more about me trying to build up my own self image, and I feel like it was one of those fake it till you make it kind of things. I was not extremely confident when I first started in 2007 making videos. I was not feeling myself. I was not loving myself the way that I love myself now. And I'm not saying that the way I love myself now is any more, better or more important, but it's definitely a part of myself that has transformed over time. And I feel like when we kind of start, as a plus size blogger, as a fashion blogger, lookism is like the critical system that we're really manipulating and using. I know that there's a difference when I come here all made up and dressed up and looking good and when I'm not. I know that people want to like act like that's, some sort of indication of how I'm doing. And I feel like because of that, sometimes me talking about myself, I will go and make myself up into, whatever I want to feel like that day. If I want to feel extra confident, I might put on my lipstick, I might do my eyebrows to the gods, or I might fucking do my eyeliner, wings, like a bat out of hell or some shit. I might do all those things, and I'm still not where I need to be sometimes, and I'm still not as confident as I would like to have been at that moment, but it still takes a lot for me to really just get myself together and come and talk to y'all, because as I said, there are so many systems against me, against you, against people in general, that hold the identities that I hold, that it's hard for us to really find a community that's like really with us. So for us to like be in community with a person that's like willing to seemingly just like backstab other people in the community and try and lump everybody's health as like a singular situation, as if every fat person does the same thing, lives the same fucking life, it's just inappropriate as hell, and it's just not true. And that kind of shit fuels fat phobia. When another fat person is talking ill about fat people, it gives fuel to the fire. It lets other people know who may not be fat that there are fat people who are unhealthy, full stop. And that even this fat person told you that they're unhealthy, so therefore it must be true. It only legitimizes the negative. It only legitimizes fat phobia. So all this person did was just basically just let everybody know, I'm not feeling me, and then here's this person's picture because they must not be feeling themselves. And while it's true that from time to time I do experience depression and sadness, it's not because I'm fat. It's because I'm fat in a society that tells me I'm worthless. It's because I'm fat in a society that tells me my fatness is a problem and an inconvenience and an intrusion on thinness. Okay? So I just wanted to like let that be known. I'm gonna post a link in the comments. Please feel free to share your opinions, but for the most part, I just feel like it's important for us to recognize that when you're in a marginalized group, the people in that group don't really need you to fucking come out and speak for everybody or come out and act like everybody's in this negative way or in this bad way, because one, that's not true, and two, that creates a false notion of community. It creates this community that's not really based in shit, that's not really about anything. It's more about, oh, can I come for this person? Can I make this person feel like shit? Can I hurt this person? Can I make this person out to be the bad fatty and I'm the good one? Or I can make this person out to be, not as on top of their shit or not as confident as they want to purport. And with that being said, I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone's like feeling, good in their skin. I know that like recently, since I moved to Colorado, I've been feeling some type of way about the fat phobia out here because it's a very fitness oriented place. So, if I'm not hiking on a mountain or I'm not going for a walk, sometimes I do experience fat phobia. I do get sad about the fact that sometimes I'm not able to do the things that other people are doing, surely because I don't fucking want to be exercising in that amount or in that or at that capacity. And that's my right. I'm able to define what is good for me and what is not. But when other people are speculating or other people are yelling things out the window, it can make it really hard for you to really just listen to your own voice, because there's so many other conflicting voices that are able to penetrate, are able to come and, just kind of invade your space. So with that being said, I'm gonna dip out. I'm gonna let y'all know, what's going on, what's coming up. But I would really love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, and just feel free to come in the comments and let it be known, how you're feeling about other fat folks, just like, delegitimizing your fatness or delegitimizing your visibility, and making you out to be in some ableist ass way an unhealthy person, and therefore you need to be scrutinized, or therefore you need to be not believed as a person who's able to be confident or able to have confidence within this fat phobic society.